What's the weirdest thing you've ever bought while traveling? Something that you never thought you'd purchase but just couldn't resist?
For me, it was a handmade wooden mask from a local market in Africa. It's still hanging on my wall and always sparks interesting conversations.
That's fascinating. I once bought a traditional Japanese kimono. It was a bit pricey, but the experience of wearing it and learning about the culture was priceless. Today, we're going to talk about English for shopping, and you'll learn how to confidently navigate stores and markets in English-speaking countries.
That's right, by the end of this conversation, you'll know how to try on clothes, pick up items, and even get a refund if needed, but most learners get the refund process completely wrong.
You'll also discover some common mistakes to avoid, and we'll share some real-life examples to help you sound more natural when shopping in English. Let's start with a basic phrase, try on. What does it mean and how do you use it, Michael?
Try on means to put on a piece of clothing to see if it fits. For example, I'd like to try on this shirt, please, and a common mistake is to say try it instead of try it on.
That's a great point, and it's essential to use the correct preposition, so remember, it's try on, not try with or try in. Here's the weird part. Have you ever tried on something that looked great on the hanger but terrible on you?
Yes, it's happened to all of us, and that's why it's essential to know how to say this doesn't fit or I'd like to exchange it for a different size.
Exactly, and that brings us to the phrase fit in, but in this context, we use fit as a verb. For example, this shirt doesn't fit me, I need a larger size. Now, let's talk about pick up. What does it mean in a shopping context, Michael?
In a store, pick up means to choose and take something. For example, I'll pick up this book and that magazine, and be careful not to confuse it with pick out, which means to choose something from a selection.
That's a great distinction, and here's the weird part. Have you ever picked up something and then realized you didn't need it after all? What if you change your mind? How do you say, I'd like to put this back in a polite way?
You can say, I'd like to return this, or I've changed my mind, may I put this back on the shelf, and remember to always be respectful and courteous to the sales staff.
Exactly, and it's also important to know how to ask for help. For example, excuse me, where can I find the fitting room? Now, let's talk about pay for. What are some common phrases used when checking out, Michael?
You can say I'll pay by credit card or can I pay with cash, and don't forget to ask for a receipt. Can I have a receipt, please?
That's right, and here's the weird part. Have you ever tried to pay for something and realized you didn't have enough money? What if you need to return something? How do you ask for a refund, Michael?
You can say I'd like to return this, can I get a refund or can I exchange it for something else, and be prepared to explain why you're returning the item.
Exactly, and it's essential to know the store's return policy, so don't be afraid to ask, what's your return policy? Let's summarize what we've learned so far. We've covered try on, fit in, pick up, put back, pay for, and get a refund.
That's right, and now it's time for a mini story. Emma, can you use these phrases in a short scenario?
Sure, here's an example. I went to the store and tried on a few shirts, but none of them fit, so I picked up a different size and paid for it, but when I got home, I realized it was the wrong color, so I had to return it and get a refund. Today's challenge is to use one of these phrases in a sentence. Can you do that for us in the comments below?
If you enjoyed this conversation, subscribe for daily English practice, and we'll see you in the next video.
Tomorrow, we'll be talking about English for food, and you'll learn how to order food at a restaurant, so don't miss it, it's going to be delicious.